This review will take a look at an old Phil Donahue show in which 4 former heavyweight champions appeared, and they answered some questions, and it's a pretty interesting episode. Let me get on the screen here. One moment, please.
4. Here are 4 of the people who occupied the center of our popular culture over the past 25 years. First, I am honored to present the World Heavyweight Champion of 1978, 43 wins, 7 losses, 33 knockouts. Here is Ken Norton, right here. The heavyweight champion of the world, 1978 to 1985, 48 wins, 3 losses, 34 knockouts. Here is Larry Holmes. The world heavyweight champion from 1970 to 73, 33 wins, 4 losses, 27 knockouts. This is Smokin' Joe Frazier, right here. And now it is my honor to present a political figure of the 20th century. He is still pretty. He is still the greatest. He is the heavyweight champion of the world forever. This is Muhammad Ali.
Tomorrow at noon, Oprah goes in search of New York women who possess classic chic.
Family cheese. I'll tell you, it's been a while. Showing that little bit of film, I just want to take you down memory lane. Here are some of today's guests at work. Here are the people who have thrilled us, not only here, but around the world. You can roll that, and I'll just gab a little bit. Here is a piece from a videotape titled Champions Forever. This is early in the career of Smokin' Joe. And there's just one fight that the referee decided shall continue no more. Here are 4 gentlemen who moved billions and billions of dollars from one pocket to the other as people around the world alternately were thrilled and appalled at this activity of professional sport, which we can only conclude will never ever be erased from a free society. Nor will the criticism of 2 grown men standing in the ring trying to knock each other senseless. Here is the reigning heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson, at work. This could be Las Vegas. This could be anywhere. What is it about us that draws us to ringside every time the big guys get in the ring? And look how pretty you still are. Prettiest nose in the history of boxing. Remember that, sometimes more fun during the pre-fight than there was during the match. Are we ready with the mouth that roared? Here's the poet and the man who is a promotion manager's dream. I mean, could he sell tickets or what? Just take this quick look at boxing history. mouth and just keep it closed.
Well, you know that's impossible.
No, keep it closed.
You know that's impossible. I'm the greatest. And I'm knocking out all bones. And if you get too small, I'll knock you out.
Close your mouth, but just let me keep it closed for 10 seconds.
Well, that's impossible. You know that's impossible. Henry Cooper's nothing to me. If this bum go over 5 rounds, I won't return to the United States for 30 days. That's final.
Okay, since you're not worried about this guy Cooper, how about when you get through with him? What are your plans after that?
Well, you're right. I'm not even worried about this big bum. Cooper will only be a warm-up until I get to that big ugly bear, Sonny Liston. Right, bodyguard? I walked into London, England. I jumped out the airplane. Picture cameraman everywhere I go. You can look in and see him today. The TV, the cameraman, everybody follows me. I'm so great.
I saw Sonny Liston a few days ago, Cash.
Ain't he ugly? He's too ugly to be the world champ. The world champ should be pretty like me.
Well, he told me to bet my life that you wouldn't go 3 rounds.
Well, if you want to lose your money, then bet on Sunday.
Oh, may I ask you this?
Because I'll never lose a fight. It's impossible. Tell it. It's impossible.
Never lost a fight in your life.
They're seeing my fans when the last time they lost. I'm too fast.
Champion from
I'm the king. Born the champ. Born champ from the crib. Ah!
Are you taking Zora Foley too lightly?
Why would you say that?
Because every indication has been that you're confident that you can beat Zora.
I'm confident I can whip all of them. This ain't nothing new. My image has been confidential. What you trying to make it look like something new for? I'm always confident I can whip all of them.
You're being extremely truculent.
Whatever truculent means, if that's good, I'm there. Well, there he was. Were they the good old days?
That was crazy.
You were what?
Wow.
You look at that, and what do you think, champ?
I can't believe it's me.
You know, you sold a lot of tickets, didn't
I
you?
didn't realize I talked that much.
Huh? You didn't realize you talked as much? You feel good. You feel good right now?
I feel like trying Joe Frazier.
You feel what?
I want to trade Joe Frazier.
Now, Muhammad, don't get crazy. I got some questions for you from an adoring public worldwide that is more than a little concerned about your physical well-being. Are you ready?
I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You are slower of speech than you were in the good old days. I'll tell you everything I know about you, and you'll tell me whether I got it right.
Well, look, that's going to be a war.
No, it isn't. No. You're not coming after me, are you, Chan? You're not coming after me.
It's going to get
No.
out of here. I got this.
I ask these questions with you cannot get out from under the curiosity and the empathy that people have for
Told
you.
me backstage you wouldn't ask all the questions.
No, I just have one.
You lied.
Wait, no. Your ex-wife was here? No, wait a minute.
I'm out of here.
Now, what is not so funny, Muhammad,
out of here.
is it, do you have Parkinson's?
What is that?
Do you shake?
No.
That's pretty steady. That's good.
That's what he called to me.
He does.
No, he was wrong with me.
Well, now, do you mind if I talk to your brothers here about you? Just for a second?
Now, wait a minute. Not the
No,
right part, okay?
you'll come straight now.
Yeah.
A lot of folks out there who make their lives about condemning what you did for a living.
Right.
They think it's immoral.
I
Knock
love it.
people around silly, rearrange the wheels in their heads.
That's because that's control.
Huh?
That's because we control boxing.
You control boxing?
We're the champs.
You are the champ.
White men don't stand a chance.
But here's the question. You're all free to jump in here.
Come on.
Is Muhammad's speech slower because he took too many shots to the head, I'm asking?
I don't really think that comes from me. Yeah, right, there you go. I just want you there. There you go. Tell him, Joe. Tell him. Talking Joe. I would say that all the people who really got Parkinson's, they never box.
There are a lot of people who have Parkinson's who never boxed. You make a point, my good man.
He's talking slow because we've been up since 6 o'clock this morning.
All
day long.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You want to make a contribution to this, Ken? Any thoughts about it? I'll tell you this, I don't want you mad at me either.
Well, let me see. I feel that through It's not from boxing, no.
It's not from boxing.
No. Mine from an accident. I always is something it's a disease.
It's a disease can strike anybody, whether you're heavyweight champion of the world or a talk show host.
It's an improvement. And don't forget it.
I won't forget it. I won't forget it. Well, has it been a good life, Smoking Joe? I mean, when you look back, come on.
I would say that without the years of the fine people that have been involved around the world and the Lord,
Yeah.
and Mama and Daddy and all my family,
Yeah.
they did a fine job with me, and I just love living. I mean, for the people, because I just work now for my boys and other young men in the gymnasium, and Larry and Patterson and Muhammad and whoever I can make it do it. You know, I just love doing it. You know?
Now, let me tell you this. There's one other question now. All right. You don't walk out on me. Have you got any money?
It was.
I'm almost as rich as you.
Really? Well, you know, poor Joe Louis, died broke.
Who said that?
Who took it? You tell me.
The government.
The government. And were you smart enough to make sure that you were invested in a way, you know, you made baskets full in it.
Are you smart enough to invest yours?
I'm sorry?
Are you smart enough to invest yours?
Well, I am. I hope I am.
Well, I hope I am.
I hope you are too. Now, why would you be upset at that question? The history of boxing is one of the exploitation of young men like yourself.
I think fighters are smarter today than they were in the day that Joe Louis came. I think managers had more control over the fighters than they do today. Fighters are promoting their own fights. Take, for instance, Sugar Ray Leonard. He's promoting his own fights, and he's getting, say, 90% of the cut.
Yes.
So that makes him much smarter than the average Joe back in those days. Fighters today have much more, but opportunities, you know, for these fighters to get that money is very slim. They got to be tough.
Yeah. What you wanted to say, Joe, about this issue, money?
Well, I feel like any one man, if the manager doesn't take control of the money, let's say, and he run away with it and do this and that with the man's money, but today is different. Where the fighter has his own idea of what he wants to do with money, and this is right there, and don't forget to pay uncle. You got to pay uncle. There's no doubt about that. So I feel like fighters doing a smarter thing with the money that they can invest in. I live off investing myself.
Do you? Yeah. Well, these guests will not be upset if I remind our viewers that available at bookstores around the world, not to mention other places, is a videotape titled Champions Forever. It is a tape I have seen, and you talk about down memory
Tell
lane.
them where you can get that tape so we can make money.
Well, you tell them now. You tell them, Kenny. You tell them. You tell them, Larry.
What's that, Walmart?
Walden. Walden Books.
Books, yeah.
I just want to share with this audience. Okay. Ali versus Fraser. Fraser beat you, champ. You know what? That's the hardest punch I ever think you took in your whole career. You remember?
Why are you agitated?
Huh? Why am I showing it? I'm not agitating. This is on the tape. I know you got a longer arm reach. I want you to...
Should we beat him up in here?
No, don't do that. I got kids and a wife and a dog. You don't want to hurt me. Here it is, 1971. Incidentally, it was 1970. It was 1970, the Supreme Court decision overturned the suspension of Muhammad Ali as the heavyweight champion of the world because he refused to fight in the Vietnam War. Here's a man who stood up courageously, not only in the ring, but outside as well. Ali's status as a boxer is restored, and here he is working against Smokin' Joe Fraser in the green. You are going to see something rare here. Here is Muhammad Ali about to take as big a shot as he ever took in his career. You'll see the seconds wind down. Look at this hot dog here. The performance is on, but you've got to believe that Ali is hurt. Watch this.
190 pounds.
Champ says he weighed 190 pounds during this fight. There's a good left.
Yeah.
Now look at this. Still performing. Here is Smokin' Joe Frazier's greatest fight. They called it the fight of the century. 1971, Ali is on his heels. Stand by for a big left hook. Here it is. This is from the tape, Champions Forever. Now you see this in slow-mo. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this left. Oh. That's as big a shot as Muhammad Ali ever took. And Joe, this was not necessarily an easy thing for you to knock off a very popular champion. And there were people at the time who, I remember you and I worked at prison. And shortly after that, the Ohio State Penitentiary, and there we were with an audience filled with really serious convicts, you might say. Yeah, tough guy. I stood next to you and called you sir for the whole hour. A guy stood up, I remember a lifer stood up and said, "Are you the Great White Hope?" Do you remember that? That upset you, kid.
Yeah. Well, I feel all because against my man here, he started out the Tom stuff. That's why we had so much problem with our promotion during the years as he went by, because he called me a Tom, and I never know what a Tom was because I never peeped in nobody's window. So those things, I didn't understand what he was saying. And then when I found out what it really was all about, I called me Uncle Tom. I was trying to sell tickets.
I'm glad you waited, caller. Go ahead.
Well, I got a good question for Joe Frazier, who I respect very much, as well as all the other fighters.
Yes.
Joe, I'm a young father myself. What I want to know is, how can you push your son into the ring, let him fight those world-class fighters when he is not the fighter you were? And by the way, that was a hell of a fight. What a punch that was. But please, answer the question.
Come on, how did he feel it?
He wants to know whether you're just maybe you got more hope and enthusiasm for your son than the talent would suggest, and you're putting him against superior people, and maybe that's not such.
Number one, I thought that Marvis had a good record when he faced Mr. Holmes. Yeah, he got hit with a shot, and I think you've seen the greatest here. My fight was less than his own, and then I put him down, so therefore that has nothing to do with a man getting caught with a shot. I thought Marvis was ready at the time. Larry knocked it down to stop the fight. So I wasn't going to argue about it, but I think there was 1 second the bell would ring. He had a better chance, but that's the name of the fight.
And
he was getting $1 million for that fight.
He got $1 million?
That's right.
Any comment about this young man's offspring?
Marvis?
Yeah.
I think it was good to get the $1 million, because how often can you make $1 million coming from the ghetto?
Rarely.
I have to say, for 4 men who have taken and given a lot of punches, you all look great. But beside that, do you think all the training and all the fighting and all the punches that you took, was it worth it, what you put your body through?
I have $14 million worth of property, and plus I'm still a multi-millionaire.
Next question.
Next question, yeah.
Are any of you sorry you did this?
No, I'm sorry I got old.
Would any of you...
Let me advance this. I can't get it on the screen because it'd take too long, but...
Members, look at this. Look at this. Running out of time, and this is over. Larry Holmes has done it. Larry Holmes has done it. You're never going to forget that night.
No.
What a wonder. He cheated. We'll be back to discuss this further in just a moment.
question. I'd like to know if what any or all of you plan to do with the rest of your lives now.
I bought a boat.
Good for you. Hey.
I'm going to fix it.
Yeah?
I don't like water.
Yeah. Kenny?
Well, my first thing is to go to rehab and get better.
Well, how long ago was the accident, auto accident?
About 2.5 years.
And you're gimpy still, aren't you?
Don't make him.
Well, you know, you got yourself a hobble.
Yeah, I was like, it was pretty bad.
Yeah?
I was paralyzed for about 2 years. And but things are coming back. Voice is gone. But God wasn't ready, so I'm still here.
You sure are. And looking good.
This question's for Muhammad Ali. You had said that there are people with Parkinson's that do not box. So do you honestly feel that your career didn't attribute to your illnesses at all?
I don't think it's boxing.
You don't think it was boxing? No. It's a disease that...
The greatest champions that I feel that ever lived is sitting right here with you, sir.
Gentlemen, I want to know if you like the new ruling with the championship fight, 15 rounds or 12 rounds. What do you like?
I like 15.
Thank you.
I like one if the guy gets paid for it.
I'd like to know how you all feel about the problem with the use of steroids in professional sports and if there's ever been a problem with it in boxing.
Well, some fighters are using it. I don't like no drugs. I condone it. I mean, I think drugs is a bad habit. Drugs are killing our society, killing our whole family. People would say, well, you know, it ain't gonna happen to me, it ain't gonna happen in my family. But I want all y'all to know that it will happen to you and it will happen in your family.
One of the testimonials on this tape titled Champions Forever, how do you hope to be remembered? I'll just show you, just briefly. How does Ken Norton hope to be remembered? Here's what he said.
An intelligent being, a caring being, an individual. Even though he was very competitive, about me.
You look like somebody coming your back.
No, nobody knows the same thing. Believe me, I didn't do the same thing that Mike Tyson did.
Somewhat. You understand?
No, somewhat. I was an angel. No. Yes.
I was wondering, you guys look real good, but I wonder, do you have to stay in shape? Do you work out?
I've been working out because I'm doing an exhibition in Florida, and somebody might come back and give me a few $1 million to go out there and fight Joe Frazier.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. You say you're working out, huh?
Yeah.
I got a question for you and you. I'm going to give the king a pass here, and this auto accident probably exempts Brother Kenny from this. Can you do this?
Yes, sir.
You can do this.
Yeah, I know, Ken.
How about you? Hold on to this one.
Yes, sir.
Please, I said please. All right? Okay? Huh?
Go.
Huh?
Hippity hop to the barber shop.
Like 30 fights and 20 losses. That's an average of 333. That would be great if he was playing shortstop for the Mets.
They're going to get
I'm going to, the day is going to come.
Physical? Or you think
Absolutely. We're going to have a serious injury in the ring. Something has to be done about that.
What do you say about that, Commissioner?
There's a lot of matches that go on, and I got to tell you, from maybe about 1,000 fights that we've turned down, there have been a few that have snuck past, and if a guy passes his physical, it gets really tough to turn down. But we have been turning down mismatches all over the state, and if we have to put a promoter out of business, we will. But yes, you're right. There have been mismatches that have gotten through.
And you're watching?
We're trying our best.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I have a question for Larry Holmes. What would a normal day of conditioning be for you before a fight?
Up at 5, running 3, 4, 5 miles, back to the hotel, do some exercise, get a good breakfast, and off to sleep. And back up again about 3 o'clock.
How about you?
I think it makes
Right.
my life even stronger because being away from her makes me want to get back to her. So it makes a relationship even stronger when
Joe?
you get someone.
Oh, I never left I'm with boxing every day, and I try to keep myself in condition so I can deal with my boys and the people around the world. And let's say I'm holding fights here, there,
Right.
with Larry, with Patterson,
Right.
and doing everything. I just, I'm there every day, and I'm staying in shape.
Yes.
I'm in condition.
Uh-huh. Did your worldwide fame and your championship status affect your marriage at all, Muhammad?
Don't get nervous. Leave that one alone, okay?
No.
Tell me you're happy married now.
Didn't affect
He's good.
Yes.
Good to go.
Yes, one question from Muhammad Ali. Did you have any plans of making a movie of your life?
They made two.
They made 2 movies. No more coming, huh? No more. Huh?
And that'll do it. It looks like that was a good review. It's hard to get all of it in. And those are the 4 heavyweight champions from the past there. And that's the Phil Donahue show, which is no longer on. And that'll do it.